So I think we can go and get started. So Madam Clerk, turn it over to you.
All right. So just really quick for everyone's consumption, we do have a few items that's scheduled for our GPC on the 11th. And that is the Public Safety Quarterly Update, GCRA, quarterly update, and ARPA update, and then the Old Fire Station 1.
Okay, we're pulling off the ARPA item and we're also pulling off the GCRA item because we've just recently done them. And so I think that's where we ended up.
Okay. So
and the Old Fire Station 1 is in cone of silence right now. If we can get it all finished and everything closer to then it'll be there. But if not, it'll have to wait till after recess.
Okay.
all right, on the August 4th, first item is approval of minutes, and then the second item is the discretionary spending policy that the commission requested some time back. We have that packaged and ready to come back to you. Then we have a bid award for H. Spurgeon, if I'm saying that correctly, Cherry Pool liner replacement.
Right.
And the fourth contract amendment to extend the agreement for solid waste collection with GFL Solid Waste Southeast LLC.
Right.
The Florida Recreation Development Assistance Program grant acceptance for Forest Park improvements. The contract for the purchase and sale of real property for Laurel Ridge acquisitions. Regional Transit System proposed fall 2022 service changes. The interlocal agreement between the county and the city for the implementation of national pollutant discharge elimination system programs. It's a mouthful. The Gainesville Regional System, sorry, too fast there, hold on. Transit update. Transit System Title VI Plan Update. Then there's a resignation from the Gainesville CRA Board from Brian Allgood. Then an amended and restated declaration of covenants, conditions, and restrictions for the Heartwood community. And that's the end of consent.
So I'm sorry, real quick, Mr. Mayor, I just got an item today that we're looking to add to consent. It's a renovation of the administration building at the Murphy Water Treatment Plant. It's a budgeted item. Procurement just kind of told us today that that's something that needs to go to the commission. The folks that were running it didn't know that. So we're going to get the backup and add that on consent as well.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, and then the next item on business discussion is the recruitment plan for charter officers.
So the next item, I'm sorry. The next item is water wastewater connected charges and other rates and fees that we typically do annually per the construction cost index. We also have two other ordinance changes in addition to just those rates that we're recommending. One has to do with the installment plan where people can pay their connection charge over 10 years. No one really uses it. And the reality is the people that would use it typically use Connect Free and they don't need the installment plan because they get Connect Free. And so we're recommending removing that from the ordinance. And the other one has to do with connection charge credits. So if you rebuild a house on a property that had already paid connection charges, you get the credit for the original connection charges. We're clarifying the policy and the ordinance to be consistent with other utilities, which says you only get that credit if there's been an active account at some time in the previous 10 years. So there's been arguments like, oh, well, there was a house here in 1920, so I should get the credit, but there's no records of anything. And so what most utilities do is have this 10-year window that if there's activity on the GRU account in that 10-year window, then the credits, they're eligible for the credit. And so we're recommending that adjustment to that, or that clarification really to the ordinance.
Okay, I assume, but just reach out and offer to any of the commissioners if they want to get any more detailed information on those that someone can be available.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item is the Downtown Strategic Plan project update. And then the Streetery update. And then the next one is a resolution authorizing an amendment to a swap transaction between the city of Gainesville and Gainesville Regional Utilities.
So on this item, I'm not sure if it has to go in the evening or not. I think there was a decision to put it here, so I guess it's up to you all if it needs to be an evening item. But it is a variable rate loan that we have that we're essentially changing the index that it is used by, and it actually saves GRU some money over the long run.
Okay.
And Dan, you can let us know later on if we can move that to the afternoon or to the morning.
Yeah, I mean, already there's no way we do all that in 2 hours, what you've already presented. So, I mean, it's we need to do the charter officer item. Maybe let's, Omi, let's do the charter officer item and then the downtown and streetery item at 10. And then everything else to move to 1.
Okay, charter officer item, streetery, and what was the other one?
Downtown strategic plan update
Got it.
in the morning, and then everything else at 1.
Got it.
And Omi, if it's possible, our preference is to have the strategic plan item first as it was as you had it, and then the streetery second.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then same thing here with this resolution. This is an amendment to the traffic signal maintenance and compensation agreement with FDOT. We would see if we can move that to the morning or the afternoon. Actually, the afternoon, we'll check with Dan. And then the 3, there's a couple second readings, the quasi judicial rezoning of 1.27 acres of property on Southwest 16th Street. You know what? I think I'm silly. This was the afternoon. I'm sorry. I was thinking this was in the evening, just by habit. 1.27 acres of property on 16th Avenue on second reading. The quasi judicial rezoning of the plan development amendment to the shops at Pinewood plan development. That's on second reading. And then the first reading of amending the city election districts to include a portion of the Alachua County Precinct 63 that was initially left off. And into the actual evening now are just the 3 exclusionary zoning ordinances. So just ignore me on the first half of that blooper.
Bobby?
If I may, Mayor, we have one item that's coming through the pipeline. It's the CDBG Home Program Funding Recommendations. It's the annual action plan that has to be presented to the commission. We think it can go on consent, but it's our last item that's coming through Legistar now.
There's always discussion on that. Can we move that to GPC?
I will check with the group to see if there's some sort of required timeline, and if not, you want to move it to 811 GPC?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do. If you're all right with that, City Manager.
Not a problem.
Okay. Andrew?
Thanks. We for the 3 easy items, like we did switch out an updated PowerPoint for those to consolidate and include the different aspects of it. So when the final agenda gets published, it'll have that updated presentation file.
Okay, thank you. Adrian?
Yeah, thanks, Mayor Poe. On the GPC meeting, since it's pretty light, can we move up the fencing? I have a fencing item that I think is on the September meeting, but just moving that up to that meeting to open up.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like there's room unless there's any objection or if staff isn't ready.
I'm sorry, is it move it to 8/11?
Correct.
Yeah, move date 11, yeah.
It was supposed to be in September, I guess, and
Yeah,
And
Yeah, we
you
have it.
good with that? Okay,
just to free up time later at GPCs in the future.
Okay, anything else? Seems like a doable, obviously the evening will bring your granola bars and your nuts, because we'll, I'm sure that will be a late evening, but the morning and afternoon seems manageable to me, so I think we should be okay. Okay, anybody else? Oh, there's everybody's beautiful faces.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
we were trying to get a annexation ordinance for the Star property, but we did receive word from the Gainesville Sun that they did not run the ad that we sent them. So that's going to get pushed to 9/1 at this point. So
We're going to become a meme
oh my gosh.
if this is consistent enough. Okay, well, apologize to the folks, and we'll get it on in September. Okay, well, thank you very much. Appreciate y'all, and we will see everybody tomorrow afternoon for GPC.